Hello, everybody. My name is David LaMotte. Somebody's booing. Hey, David really is here, so let's don't boo him when I introduce him. I have a few notes I need to read. It'll take about 15, 20 minutes. People have been coming into this church, in this building, for 173 years. Since 1869. The cornerstone was laid what year, Steve? 1867. Right, and every Saturday night the preacher would come around and thank everybody for the offering they were going to give the next day, the next morning. But he said, I need your money now to pay the workers on Monday. So bring your church offering tomorrow, but I need your money for the building now so that I can pay them on Monday. The building was completed in 1869, and people have been worshiping in it ever since. The most beautiful thing about this building is your presence in it. So take a look at one another. Go ahead. Yeah. All of you showered, you combed your hair, you look great. That's the most beautiful thing about any sanctuaries when God's people gather in it. I'm Matt Matthews, one of the pastors here, and I preach mostly from a pulpit right here, and by the time we get to the sermon, most of you are asleep. But still, you're quite lovely. You're very beautiful. You're very beautiful. There are many people to thank for tonight's concert, and I won't mention a single name because I'll get it all mixed up. But you can thank one another for this show. Downstairs, immediately after the show, we're having a reception, so please come and enjoy some food and fellowship. You'll have an opportunity to meet David and chat with him, and also buy records, real records and CDs and other merchandise. Thanks to Course in Music, Steve McQueen, that's his real name, came out and zeroed out the system for us. We had to get extra sound, so thanks to Course in Music. If you'd like to hear about other things the church is doing musically, if you sign a friendship pad, which, why don't y'all just pull it out and start passing it down? If you sign the friendship, you don't have to, but if you want to hear about music, then sign the friendship pad with however you want us to be in touch with you, a snail mail address or an email address. And that's the only thing we'll ever write you about. We're not going to ask you for money. We're not going to ask you if you want 8x10 pictures of the pastor. We're just going to tell you about when we're having music. Music Sunday at the church, Joe, when is that? How many Sundays from now? A couple. May 7th, we have a small symphony here, a beautiful sound. Our choir, augmented by voices from the university, will join us for Music Sunday. John Rene Balatika played this morning. He plays often. He's doing a show on Father's Day here for a brunch downstairs, so you get great music and you get great food. That's on June 14th. So if you'd like to hear about music, please sign up. If you don't want to hear from us, don't sign up. And if you're members of the church, we already know where you live. I met David LaMotte in the dining hall, the dining room, the Galax dining room at Assembly Inn at the Montreat Conference Center, probably in the spring of 1991 or 92. He was doing a few songs for the youth conference leadership, and we were getting ready to pull off the big summer conferences. Ever since, I've followed his career and been enthused by it, been to lots of shows, booked lots of shows, and am always grateful for what he brings to an afternoon or an evening. Great stories, great insights, and great music. So welcome to all of you. Welcome. And help me to welcome David LaMotte.
Thank you so much. I take it as a really good sign when people clap before I've actually done anything at all. It means you must be very nice people. That sounds about right. you've done a radical thing today. You've done a radical thing. You are here with other people in three-dimensional space. Millions and millions, perhaps billions of dollars were spent to keep you right in front of your TV. And instead, you chose to be with people in a room, sharing a little music and hopefully some laughter. And thank you for doing that. Of all the places you could have been today, you're here. And I'm grateful. It's a song I wrote in the winter about the moment that summer turns to fall. So I figure spring is the perfect time to play it. Man, I love the summer with its wet green life just buzzing everywhere. But there's nothing like the first scent of the turning when you catch it in the air. There's something like a promise in a cobalt blue electric autumn sky. Like there's wisdom in the rhythm, like it's okay that the time keeps flowing by. September me, like an old friend at the door. Blue sky me with the beauty of the light I've seen 1,000 times before. Undo me with the tiniest of flickers at the corner of your smile. Let's take a little time to take a little time and rest ourselves a while. Well, you used to dial a number and anyone might answer where you call. And now you call somebody and their body might be anywhere at all. Yeah, everything keeps changing with the seasons. The waves become the tide. I'm just trying to keep my head above the water. I don't want to miss the ride. September me, like an old friend at the door. Blue sky me with the beauty of the light I've seen 1,000 times before. Undo me with the tiniest of flickers at the corner of your smile. Let's take a little time to take a little time and rest ourselves a while. She said something, but I didn't really hear her. I was looking at my phone. So she said again, sometimes when we're together, I feel like I'm alone. I said, love, I'll be right with you. I just gotta do one thing. She took my face in both her gentle hands and whispered, you've been saying that since spring. September me, like an old friend at the door. Blue sky me till the shell falls from my soul and I feel like myself once more. Undo me with the tiniest of flickers at the corner of your smile. Let's take a little time to take a little time and rest ourselves a while. Let's take a little time to take a little time and rest ourselves a while. Let's take a little time. Thank you all so much. Everybody doing okay? Can I bring you anything? All right. Okay. Well, for real, we are here together in physical space. And the thing about that is that not only are you watching me, but I'm watching you too. And if you have anything you want to say or ask or whatever, I sincerely invite you to do that, preferably between songs. But do what you got to do, you know? It's all right. Still a chill in the air, but winter is waning and springtime is winning. I swear that it will. Will you come with me to greet the new morning? The new buds are forming. The sky is turning blue. Blue past so much of my life, looking down like a sad painted clown, but I'll wipe that face off. Often I've dreamed of this kind of adventure. And this is the clincher, you're coming with me. Meet me at dawn by the trailhead. We'll never have this day again. And you keep on talking about changes. This just might be where they begin. Intoxicating. I've been hibernating, but now I am waking, a silly old bear. Bare branches whisper while others play rhythm. The jazz trees will give 'em side stick on a snare. Snared by a bramble, the seeds take the gamble to see where we ramble and drop them anew, a new sense of possible. The thing about seeds is they trust in the breezes and go with them there. There's no time to wait on tomorrow till our lists are all tidy and done. We might wait until 18 forevers and then find that we missed all the fun. Fungus and lichen, I must say I'm liking this green that we're hiking through everywhere, wearing these grins. As the new day begins, we're shedding our skins, coming over the hill, hilarious laughter, my worn spirit rises. The light in your eyes is a beauty to see. Scenery shifting, we're not gonna miss it. We'll soak in this bliss, it's not time to be still. Still a chill in the air, but winter is waning and springtime is winning. I swear that it will. So that's the lyric from a song on my new record. And that first song I played, there's really no such thing as a folk hit. That's not really a thing. But that song was the #1 song on folk radio in September. So that's the biggest hit I've ever had. That's what I got, folk radio. So thanks. What that means is that all 5 of the people who listen to folk music liked it pretty well. That's good. I've learned over the years that people hear music really differently. I really love words, and I spend a long time laboring over the words to songs. But I've learned that some people actually don't really hear the words to songs until they've heard the song many, many times. My wife is among those people, and she taught me about this. Because I'm the guy who, in the restaurant, if there's music playing, I just need everybody to be quiet because somebody's singing to me, right? And I need to listen to the lyrics, and I can't not listen to the lyrics. I just can't do it. So if there's music and there's somebody talking, then it's just 2 people talking to me, right? So that last poem there is actually a song. It might even show up later, but I wanted you to hear it. This is another song that I sometimes do as a poem, but today it wants to be a song. I grew up down in Sarasota, Florida. And people do this weird thing in Florida. I don't know if you've been down there or seen it happen, but they build really tall buildings on the sand right near the ocean. We've been getting advice about that for at least a couple thousand years, right? And some people just haven't heard that story. So the ocean comes and the hurricanes come and wash them away, and then they just put them back again. And I thought I was going to write a song about that. And the first verse is kind of about that, but sometimes a song wants to be about something else, and the muse likes to be followed, but she doesn't like to be pushed. So this ended up being a song about water from a whole lot of different angles. And I call the song, because I'm a poet, I call the song Water. So they built this shiny hotel where the water meets the land. They smiled a little nervously as the ocean took the sand. They went down below the shoreline and they hauled it back again. But the heavy rain and the hurricane and the water's gonna win, the water's gonna win. You can bring it all back, it will wash away again. The water's gonna win. Pack it up or pack it in. The water's gonna win. The glass of water you were sipping as you watched the morning come has quenched the thirst of 7 others underneath a younger sun. We are memories and moments. We are born and born again. We are rushing stream and breathing steam, and the water's gonna win, the water's gonna win. Ascending and falling and rising up again, the water's gonna win. Ride the tide and ride the wind. Haul the rocks, sign the papers, pour another glass of gin, cut the ribbon with the scissors, but the water's gonna win. Hey, 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 hey. You went down beside the river just about a year ago, gave the ashes to the current and watched them swirl into the flow. And you still hold it all inside you. You can't stop once you begin. Close your eyes and feel it rising. Hey, the water's gonna win, the water's gonna win. You can't hold back the tide, you can't hide from what's within. The water's gonna win. Feel it flow beneath your skin. The water's gonna win. It will keep flowing through all we are and all we've been. The water's gonna win forever and amen. The water's gonna win. Well, I really love to play music for people. Thank you for listening to my songs. I think I might play you all songs that I wrote today. I might play you 1 or 2 that I didn't. We'll see what happens, how the Spirit moves. I wanted to play you this one, though, bring you a little piece of North Carolina. I know there are at least a handful of folks who love the mountains of western North Carolina like I do. It's where I live, in a little town called Black Mountain. It's generally, I describe it as being outside of, right outside of Asheville, North Carolina, in the Appalachian Mountains. Unless I'm talking to Presbyterians, and then I say it's right outside of Montreat, North Carolina. And I've lived there for 30-some years. But before I ever lived there, my family kind of fell in love with that part of the country. My granddad in 1939 bought a little cottage with no insulation and no central heat or air or anything like that. It started out in 1916 when it was built with no plumbing and no kitchen. But now it's got those things. So, you know, we're really modernizing. And my family would go there for a week or so every summer when I was growing up. And I always felt like it was kind of my healing place. So right out of college, I decided that I could live wherever I wanted to, and there was no place I'd rather live. So I moved there to see if I could make a go at playing music for a living. And astoundingly, against the odds, I got to do that for the last 30-some years. My grandparents loved that old house, and when I lost them around college, each of them died at 89 and 91, which interestingly is the ages that my parents are now. But I lost my grandparents, and when I lost them, I wanted to write a song about them. And I found that when I sat down to do that, well, they were people of place. And as I started to write about them, I found that I was writing about that old house. And this is the song that came out. The little town of Black Mountain was originally called Gray Eagle by the Cherokee who lived there first. And that's why this song is called Gray Eagle. Well, I've got some pictures, just some old black and whites. Everything was so simple. Or maybe I romanticize, but it still makes me smile, looking back on those days when black and white fade to gray. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father. I'm singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home. Well, now there's a sidewalk where the path used to be, where we planted a sapling. I can climb in the tree. I find I stand taller with my feet on the land that my grandfather worked with his hands. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father. I'm singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home. Once in a while, I like to stop by and make sure that the place looks okay. I stand on the steps with a tear in my eye, and I'm wishing that I could just stay. So I'll take a few pictures with my dad's 35 of my grandparents' home, where they lived most of their lives, and a few in the garden where their roses still grow, and I'm hoping that somehow they know. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father, singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home, finally home. And I'm home. Thank you. So here's what happened. It was right before the pandemic. It was that summer before the pandemic, and some friends of mine went camping. Several couples and several kids, and we got out in the woods and hung out for a few days, and it was a delight. And one night, my friends were making dinner. These two friends of mine who happened to be married to each other were making that thing where you wrap the food in tinfoil and you put it against the coals and you let it go for a little while. There are various names for that. And they had very different ideas about how to properly prepare that meal. And I'll just say that they were passionate about their opinions. And they started into a friendly discussion and supportive, mutually supportive in the way that couples are. I might even call it an argument about how to properly prepare that meal. And I was just sitting there hanging out. I was doing nothing at all. So I was kind of listening to them have this conversation when suddenly a song appeared in my head. And it was a song about dumb things that couples argue about. Thing is, this is actually true. I've got a master's degree in peace studies, right? And what that means, of course, is that there's no conflict in my own marriage. So I didn't have enough material, right? So I did what anybody would do in the same situation. I went onto Facebook and I posted on Facebook, hey y'all, I'm writing a song about stupid things that couples argue about. What do you got for me? And I'm just here to tell you that if my wife were here, she would tell you that I am somewhat prone to exaggeration, that stories can grow over time. But I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that that Facebook post had over 400 comments on it. People making suggestions about dumb things that couples argue about. So I had a lot of material, and I just copied the whole thing into a different file, and I just highlighted all my favorites. And so I crowdsourced this song, and I think it's important to tell people that before I sing it, because I don't want you to worry about us. We're doing okay. Deanna and I are all right. Marriage is real, and sometimes it's hard, but this is a good stretch for us. We're all right. Don't worry. Song's not about us. It's apparently about all of you. Right? Here we go. Seems like we're driving each other crazy. She can't relax and she says I'm lazy. Every little thing I do or say, well, she seemed to think she got a better way. All frustrated and up all night, 'cause there's two ways to do it, but one that's right. Hands on her hips with the usual scowl, looking at the way I folded that towel. And sometimes I think I might end up dead, 'cause I didn't put the twisty thing back on the bread. Yeah, sure, I'll take the trash out in just a minute, but if you push it down a little, you could get more in it. And the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long, if you don't mind doing it wrong. Well, we thought it might help with the situation to get away together for a little vacation. So we cleared the time, but we didn't get far, 'cause first we had to pack the car. We survived that part without going insane, and then she drove away slow in the fast lane. And the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long, if you don't mind doing it wrong. Yeah. All right, y'all have a part. I know this is a big stretch for Presbyterians, but I want you to be loud. All right, here's what comes down. I say the way it's done, you say is the way I do it. And I say, and the way I do it, you say is the way it's done. Ready? Here we go. Now the way it's done, and the way I do it, You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. Yeah. That was good. I'm gonna have to book more plane tickets for tomorrow. Now there's which way the forks go, up or down, and which way the toilet paper spins around. And when you put your headlights dim or bright, when you slow down for the traffic light, how dark to go when you toast the bread, and how many pillows do you need on one bed, and whose turn it is to let out the cat, and are you really gonna put ketchup on that? Which way to vote in the next election, and when we gonna stop and ask for directions. And I don't wanna start a whole bunch of drama, but don't get me going on the Oxford comma, 'cause the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. I forgot about y'all for a minute. Let's try again. Now the way it's done and the way I do it, you can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. All right, this is the tender verse. Well, I love you, baby, and I hate to fight, and I don't mean to sound like I'm always right, and there's plenty of stuff still left to discover, and there's lots of things we can learn from each other. So go on and show me how your way's better, and I'll just come back and fix it later. 'Cause the way it's done is the way I do it, and the way I do it is the way it's done. You can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. Yeah, here we go, last chance. Now the way it's done and the way I do it, you can do it your way all day long if you don't mind doing it wrong. Thanks, y'all. I believe some of you are married. My wife's amazing. I'm such a fan. And I should say that I recorded that song on the album as a duet with my friend Beth Wood. My most recent record is called Still, and Beth sang the other part of it, so that felt a little better to me in terms of, you know what I mean. So let's see what I'm going to play. Okay. I play in a lot of different tunings. When you tune the strings of the guitar into different relationship with each other, then none of your chords work anymore, and you have to make up new chords. And that's kind of fun for me, because it kind of keeps me from writing the same song over and over again. So I'm going to play in a few today. This is a song I wrote, it's the first song I wrote during the pandemic, actually. About 3 years ago, right about now, I wrote this song. And I was writing it on a deadline, because I've got this really neat community of folks. There's a website called Patreon, Patreon. It's like patron, but with an E in there. And what it is that people pay a little monthly subscription, and on mine, it's whatever amount you want it to be, from $1 to $100, whatever. And everybody gets the same thing, whatever they decide. And so one of the things I promised that community is a new song every month. And that's been a great discipline for me. It's kept me writing songs, and it's not unusual to catch me at about 10 p.m. on the 31st writing a song. And that's where this one came from. It was that kind of song on a deadline, and I think a string is wrong. There you go. It's that one. Yeah. But some songs are really easy. You just kind of look out the window and write down what you see. Looking out my Monday window with so few cars driving by it, the main street of this river town is strangely still and quiet. The days flow by so slowly with no rhythm to the song, trying to dodge the boulders as the water rolls along. Back in March, there was a meeting at the VFW. They said we're all in the same boat, but it really isn't true. 'Cause some boats have big motors and some have wooden oars. Some folks are in the water, just trying to swim back to the shore. Our lives hang by a thread, but you weave those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, then just maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, I will be here for you. There are many who need comfort, there are many mouths to feed. So bring what you can offer and ask for what you need. Let's be gentle with each other, we won't always get it right. You don't have to be a hero, just lean a little toward the light. You don't have to say you're okay, let's just stick to what is true. You don't have to smile and fake it, God knows I'm struggling too. Our lives hang by a thread, but you weave those threads together, they will make a rope that's strong enough to hold on to each other. If we all will pull a little, then just maybe we'll pull through. And as long as I am here, said as long as I am here, I will be here for you. Thanks, y'all. I want to credit my friend Gareth Higgins because I lifted a line from him. He said, I heard him say, actually just before the pandemic started, he was doing a talk and talking about community and the need to lean into each other instead of leaning away. And he said basically there are two rules for community. They are bring what you can offer and ask for what you need. And I thought, that's really good, and it fits perfectly with this song I'm working on. So that line comes from Gareth Higgins. Give credit where it's due. If y'all were here in church this morning, I played this song in church. It's another one of those songs where I kind of looked out my window and described what I see. My family moved 2.5 years ago, and we moved 1 mile. And we did that because, and I'd lived in that earlier house for about 30 years, and it was 875 square feet of glory, with 1,500 square feet of deck around it, which is how we roll in Western North Carolina. And love that little house. I had 1 bathroom, and that was sufficient when it was me and my wife, and it was sufficient when it was me and my wife and my son when he was little. And then my son started to become a teenager, and right around the same time, my wife's father was declining in health to the degree that we really needed to, we had been caring for him for years, but we really needed to move him in the house. And at that point, it seemed like more than 1 bathroom was a good idea. And so we managed to find a bigger place, and we moved right in the middle of the winter, right in the middle of the pandemic. So, of course, we called all our friends and said, come on, we'll buy the pizza, and no, we didn't do that. So basically what that meant was that I made 874 trips back and forth in my Honda Element with 3 boxes at a time, right? And went that 1 mile just back and forth and back and forth. I don't know if you've ever moved to a place in the winter, but it's a fascinating thing because you don't know what the place looks like the rest of the year. And suddenly the place where you live, where you're starting to feel at home gradually, is a totally different place than the one that you moved into. And that's kind of what happened here. And that what was happening outside in the lawn was kind of mirroring what was happening in my heart. And this song came out. Sorry, take 2. There's just too many notes to keep track of. When we moved here in the winter, everything was dry and brown. I never saw the place in summer, no idea what's in the ground. Barren dogwood in the front yard, I wasn't sure if it was gone. Then about the 1st of April, I saw what was going on. Coming alive again. Coming alive, coming alive again, coming alive. If I really love somebody, I used to say that we were close. It's kind of strange to show compassion through this distance that we chose. But we hid out in our houses till the medicine arrived. Now the buds have turned to blossom. We step into the other side. Coming alive again. Coming alive. Y'all want to sing that part with me? Coming alive again, coming alive. It's been a long and lonely winter. It's been a long and lonely year. It's gonna take a while to understand, but some things are coming clear. In the distant days of childhood, there was a story that I heard about how dying's part of living, but it's not the final word. So the leaves that fell in autumn turn to flowers in the spring, and the sorrow of our losses turns to songs that we can sing. Coming alive again, coming alive, coming alive again, coming alive, coming alive again, coming alive. Thank you. We're going to weird tuning land now, I'm here to tell you. This tuning, if there are guitar players in the house, is all C's and G's with just a D on the top. That's what's going on. C, G, C, G, C, D. Which gives it this drony sound. Sounds kind of like a bagpipe. Do you hear that, or is it just me? Is there any bagpipe in there? No. Okay. All right. You might recognize the lyric. Still a chill in the air. The winter is waning. Springtime is winning. I swear that it will. Will you come with me to greet the new morning? The new buds are forming. The sky's turning blue. Blue past so much of my life. Looking down like a sad painted clown. But I'll wipe that face off. Often I've dreamed of this kind of adventure. This is the clincher. You're coming with me. Meet me at dawn by the trailhead. We'll never have this day again. And hey, you keep on talking about changes. This just might be where they begin. So the last word I just sang was begin. Just help me remember that. Some of you have caught on to this, but for the rest of you, I want to make sure that you see what's going on here. I had really good fun making this song because I made myself a pattern. I made this song impossibly difficult to write and then wrote it, you know? So it was my own fault. There's nobody did this to me, but I had this idea where I could take every couplet, every 2 lines in the song, and take the last sound or word of every couplet and make it the first sound or word of the next couplet. And then still do the 2-4 rhymes, the standard rhymes in a song, and then do a lot of internal rhymes within every line. It was a ridiculous thing to do, and I've really enjoyed it. So begin, that's what it was. Intoxicating, I've been hibernating, but now I am waking, a silly old bear. Bare branches whisper while others play rhythm. The jazz trees will give 'em side stick on a snare. Snared by a bramble, the seeds take the gamble to see where we ramble and drop them anew. A new sense of possible thing about seeds is they trust in the breezes and go with them there. There's no time to wait on tomorrow till our lists are all tidy and done. We might wait until 18 forevers and then find that we missed all the fun. Fun fungus and lichen, I must say. I'm liking the green that we're hiking through. Everywhere, wearing these grins as the new day begins. We're shedding our skins, coming over the hill. Hilarious laughter, my worn spirit rises. The light in your eyes is a beauty to see. Scenery shifting, we're not gonna miss it. We'll soak in this bliss, it's not time to be still. Still a chill in the air, but winter is waning, springtime is winning, I swear that it will. So, yeah, and the other last little cherry on top for me with my fun of giving myself a hard assignment in that song was that the last word of the song is the first word of the song. And that's also the title of the album, which is Still. I want to switch it up here. Let's see. Put this down for a minute. I'm going to sit on this one. I have a new friend. His name is Jean-René, and I'm going to ask him to come play drums with me. You need a chair? Yeah, good. Oh, yeah. That's delicious. Thank you. Such a pleasure. I'll get this started and you jump in a minute, okay? We've rehearsed this song for days, except that we've never played it before ever together. Jean-René is just that good that I knew it would be fine to ask him to play. This is a song I normally play with just me and a drum. I don't, when I'm playing it live, it's just me and a drum. But on the album, there are 18 musicians playing on this song. It was a huge production with lots of little pieces of sounds. And one of the things I really love, one of the things I'm super grateful for about my life is that I've gotten to travel a lot. I've gotten to go a lot of places. I've played music on 5 continents. And it's been such a joy to me to find that the cliche is true, that music is the universal language. You can make sense to each other even when you don't have words in common. My parents lived from 1960 to 1962 in the Congo, when actually the Belgian Congo was becoming Zaire, right? A tumultuous time there in the Congo, and that's where Jean-René is from. So it's delightful to make that connection. So in Lingala, you say mbote to say hello. Can everybody practice? Mbote. And in Chuluba, which is the language that was spoken in the region of Congo where my parents lived, you say moyowebe, which means life to you, which is a beautiful greeting, I think. And just because I can and it makes me super happy, this is how you count to 10 in Chuluba. Ready? Umwe ibdi isatu inai itanu isambombo manumutekete manumuglu chitema dikumi. There you go. I got that to bring. So if you hated all the songs, at least you had that, right? So that's good. Here we go. So it's all about the stop, right? Here we go. You'll feel when it comes. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Pass around the drinking gourd, yeah. May your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Now rest a while and be renewed. My friends, we have much work to do. With love our cause and our reward. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Deeply when the wine is poured. Pass around the drinking gourd. Yeah. There you go. May your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. All right, you play for a minute by yourself. Much better. That mic stand was failing me. So I'm going to take the verses by myself, and when I sing the chorus, y'all come back in with me, okay? Rest a while and be renewed. My friends, we have much work to do. With love, our cause and our reward. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. And pass around the drinking gourd, yeah. And may your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Now take your glass and lift it up. Or grape juice in a plastic cup. No matter where the love is stored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. And pass around the drinking gourd, yeah. May your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Go ahead. And though we may not all agree, let us sing in harmony, yeah. 'Cause different notes make up a chord. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. And pass around the drinking gourd, yeah. May your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Now join with all who drink this wine in many lands and many times. Precious children of the Lord, drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. And pass around the drinking gourd, yeah. And may your spirit be restored. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Drink deeply when the wine is poured. Thank you, my brother. Such a pleasure. Oh my goodness. I hope you all have as much fun at work as I do. It involves a lot of airplanes and stuff, but man, this time right here makes it worth it. It's such a joy to be with y'all. Thank you for choosing to spend your time this way. I want to play you, I'm thinking 3 more songs. Have y'all got the energy for 3 more songs? Is that all right? I guess, really, it's an awkward question. It would be bad if you were like, maybe. It's not really fair, but thank you. I've confessed to my love for words and my sort of obsession with playing with them. That said, I think it might be nice to have one song with no words. So I'm going to play an instrumental piece. The cool thing about an instrumental is that I really have no hand in you deciding what it's about. You get to decide for yourselves. So if you remind me, I will tell you the title of this song after I'm done playing it, but I'm not going to tell it to you now. So you can decide for yourselves. And I always find it fascinating at the end of the evening. And after the concert, by the way, we're going to be gathering downstairs and having some snacks, and we'll hang out. So I always find it fascinating to hear where people went when I played this song, because folks tell me pretty cool stories about that. Thank you all so much. I think I'm actually going to wrap up with a song that I didn't actually write. I was going to write this one. Oh, thank you. I always forget, so I had to tell you, I had to remind you to remind me. It's called Shadows. That's what I call it. Oh, that's a great idea. I think I really should. It's an extraordinary honor, one of the great honors of my life. I have to count marrying my wife and having my kid and some things like that pretty high up there. But not too far behind those is the fact that I was named by Rotary International as a Rotary Peace Fellow about a decade ago. And what that means is that they funded the opportunity for me to go to Australia for 2 years and do a master's degree in peace studies. And what Rotary has done is created this fellowship that takes folks, it's got several tiers to it, but at the highest tier, it takes 50 people from around the world, from among applicants, every year, and sends them to one of several peace centers around the world that have been established at prominent universities. And so I had the opportunity to study at the University of Queensland in Brisbane, Australia, for 2 years, and to do fieldwork in rural India, in Andhra Pradesh, India, for 3 months in the middle of it. And it was an extraordinary thing. And one of the wise things that Rotary has done, I think, is that this fellowship is not targeting folks who are just out of college and look like they're going to have promising careers. It's actually offered to folks who have a little bit of track record already for doing work out there. And then it gives them these other tools, this master's degree and also this network of Peace Fellows and also of Rotarians around the world. So I started a nonprofit with my wife in Guatemala in 2004, and what we're doing there is we're supporting local leaders who are working with youth in the areas of education and arts, cultural preservation, and mentoring. And we're funding projects there and really trying to avoid a colonial kind of approach to that, but supporting people who are working in their own communities doing great work. And we've been doing that since 2004. So Rotary, I guess, believed that that was work that they wanted to be associated with. So here's what I want to say. Although I could talk about that fellowship for a very long time, the main thing I want to tell you is that last year, Rotary came to the town of Sanchach, Guatemala, near Santiago Atitlan, where we have a little primary school that we started in 2007, supporting a man named Nino Takun, who wanted to have educational opportunities for his kids that he didn't have himself. Nino has a third-grade education, and at the time that I met him, wasn't very literate in Spanish or in Sutuhil, which is not historically a written language. So this little school has been doing really amazing work, and last year, Rotary International funded the construction of an entire new school building for them that will serve generations of children in Sanchach. So I'm deeply honored to be associated with Rotary's good work in the world and to be Rotary Peace Fellow. That's how I ended up with that master's degree, was through the good graces of Rotary. Anything else I should? Shout out to the Rotarians in the house who have made that happen, not just for me, but for many others. That little school, I had nothing to do with this. I didn't know about it until it had already happened. But my friend Nino decided many years ago to name it Escuela David LaMotte. So I'm both moved and feel rather awkward about that at the same time. But we're going to be taking a trip down there this summer in just a couple months, and if you want to join us, you can. We'll hold a spot for you. So I was going to write this song, but I was busy being born when it was written, so I didn't really get a fair shot at it. It was written by a man named Dino Valenti. Actually, his birth name is Chet Baker, but no, not Chet Baker, sorry, that's a great jazz artist. Chet, doesn't matter. Dino Valenti wrote this song. And it's probably a good note to end on. It's been a pleasure to be with y'all. I sincerely appreciate you spending your time with me this afternoon. If you know this song, feel free to sing along. If you don't know it, feel free to sing along anyway. It's fine. Some songs hold up over the generations, and this is one of them. If y'all want to stay in touch with me, I'll have a mailing list downstairs, and there's some CDs and books and various things down there. Come check them out. Love to stay in touch. If you really want to stay in touch, be a part of Patreon along with Matt Matthews. We'll see you there. Love is but a song we sing, fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, and you will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Yeah. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, then you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear in your trembling hand. Yeah. It's just one key unlocks them both, and it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now, yeah. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Jean-René, thank you all so much for being with me today. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Thanks, y'all. Hey, yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. I don't get up to Champaign very often, and it's really been a treat to be with you. I hope I get to come back again another time. But please do stay in touch. Go sign the mailing list if you get a chance, or come join us on Patreon. Or come to Ireland with me this summer for a retreat I'm leading there, or come to Guatemala and see our work in Guatemala. We'd love to spend a little more time. by the waters of Babylon. We lay down and wept for thee, Zion. We remember thee, we remember thee, Zion. By the waters of Babylon. We lay down and wept for thee, Zion. We remember thee, remember thee, Zion. By the waters of Babylon. We lay down and wept for thee, Zion. We remember thee, Zion. By lay down and waters of thy Zion. We lay down and wept, remember for thee, Zion. We remember thee, Zion. By lay down and waters of thy Zion. We lay down and wept, remember for thee, Zion. We lay down and wept, remember thee, Zion. By lay down and wept, remember thee, Zion. We lay down and wept, remember thee, Zion. This is a song about exile, a song about missing home. There's so many people missing homes right now around the world. Folks who've had to migrate physically and geographically, and folks who don't feel at home in their own communities because they're marginalized for one reason or another. Rohingya people and folks in Sudan and Uganda and Congo. This is a song about exile, a song about missing home. And there's so many people missing. Palestinians, folks all over the world. If you're feeling far away, welcome home. Find your home. Find your home in this community. Know that you're loved. It's been good to be with y'all. Blessings. Remember thee, Zion. By lay down and waters of thy Zion. We lay down and wept, remember for thee, Zion. We remember thee, Zion. By lay down and waters of thy Zion. We lay down